I call this method the yellow page slavery method. It's probably the least glamorous of all, but it is probably the easiest to get $1,000 for your first copywriting gig, because you're dealing with small business owners who are used to paying a lot of money for advertising and are not used to getting any results from it. All you do is, again, with the itch cycle, the yellow pages staggers when they sell their ad space. So they don't sell all their ad space at once. So I'm in Iowa. They might sell my ad space in June. But if you're over in California, they might sell your ad space in November or whatever. But at any point in time, there's a yellow page ad that's due like 2 weeks from now in a whole region, a whole area. So you want to find that area where the yellow page ad is required, the deadline's approaching, people are buying yellow page ads, but they really, the deadline's coming up and they need to get their yellow page ad done, and they don't. They can design it they can have the yellow page ad design it, but we all know that's not a good way to make sales. So what you do is you call up the yellow page directory, or you get in contact with somebody who knows when the next directory is due, what the next region that they're selling is. So you might find out, the next region is this area in Colorado where the yellow page ads are due. So you call them up, call up the yellow page ads, and you find out when the next area they're selling and when the ads are due. Then you go to your local library and you have your librarian help you locate the correct business directory for that region. And then you just dial for dollars. You just call, you start in the A's, and you just start calling one business after the other. You say, hey, I know your yellow page ads are due soon. I happen to be a yellow page ad specialist. I know a couple simple tricks that can really increase the response of your yellow page ads and get you double, triple, maybe even quadruple the return on investment that you normally enjoy from your yellow page ads. Would you be interested? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, what are you talking about? And then you give them some tips, how to write a headline. They don't understand the headlines. If you look at yellow page ads, there's terrible, terrible headlines. So you just give them 4 or 5 good tips, and you say, hey, if you like, I'd write the sales letter. I'd write not the sales letter in this case, the yellow page ad for you. I only charge like $500 or $1,000, and you write them a yellow page ad. Very, very simple. If you just did this one thing, you could get a couple clients. You're going to get a lot of people hanging up on you. You're going to get a lot of people interested, and you're going to work with a lot of idiots, because most small business owners have no concept of marketing and its importance. But just by sheer volume, again, by talking to a lot of people, you're going to get a gig. I guarantee it by the end of the week, by just dialing for dollars. That's the yellow page ad style of getting clients. Here's what I call the personal touch. This is very simple. You just walk in, you just set aside like 3 hours once a week where you just cruise the local businesses and you walk in. It's cool if you know the business owner in advance, but if not, a lot of small businesses have the business owner works on them day to day. For the most part, they're there almost all the time. And you can usually identify who owns the business. So you walk up to them and you just talk to them and say, hey, you make a guess who the business owner is, and you say, hey, how's business been lately? And they're like, oh, pretty good. That's what they usually say. Or, oh, can't complain. And then you look around, and if there's not a lot of people in the store, if there's only a couple there, you say, would you like to have more customers in the store than this? And everybody's going to be like, yeah, I would. So, you casually say, well, I do some direct marketing, and I help business owners get a lot more money and a lot more people in the door. And, you give them a couple tips on how you do that. The most basic tips, they will wow a business owner. You say something simple as just a customer list, marketing to your past customers instead of trying to get new customers. Simple ways of marketing, target marketing. You'll blow their mind, because they're like, oh my God, I never thought about even the most obvious stuff. So you just give them a few marketing tips, and you just say, hey, I normally don't work with small businesses, but I can make an exception. How about this? I can create an ad for you for your past customers, or I can create a referral marketing program or whatever, or I'll write your next newspaper ad or your yellow page ad in this case, or your brochure or anything else that they have coming up for advertising. Just make them an offer. Say, I'll write for this much money, or you can even write for a guarantee. You can say, give me just $250, and then if it does really good, you can give me a percentage on the back end or whatever. But that's all there is to it. You just hit the pavements, talk to local business owners, casually slide in. Don't make it look like you're selling them anything. You're just casually striking up a conversation. You're sharing your expertise with them as a marketer. And then if they're really interested, you say, well, hey, I can do an ad for you, or I can do a little marketing thing for you. And you're going to get some deals that way. This last approach, I know one guy who started a 6-figure business doing very simply this. Your ad sucks technique is what I call it. your direct mail, analyze it when it comes in your mailbox, and almost all of it sucks. I mean, honestly, I don't know how people are even. They say almost every direct mail campaign, like 95% of them are failures because people don't understand the simple concepts of direct mail. So what you do in advance is you create a simple "Your ad sucks" letter. I go in this in more depth in the book, but it basically goes, "Hey, I got your ad in the mail the other day. It caught my attention because I'm in direct marketing and I do a lot of advertising and marketing. And frankly, I immediately spotted 6 or 7 mistakes that I think are killing your response rates and can be really hampering your profitability. I know 3 things that I could very simply do to this ad right away to fix it up that would probably improve response dramatically. If you're interested in getting more money, and getting a better return on investment for this direct mail piece, just contact me and give them your number, and then you send them that letter back in the mail. Most people are not going to respond to that. Most people have no concept of direct mail. Most people, they're corporate style, so they have a budget. They're just spending their money on that budget. They're following somebody else's orders, but occasionally you'll hit somebody in their itch cycle, or you get somebody interested, so they'll call you back, and you just, you casually give them some information because, again, they're completely clueless. They're absolutely clueless. That's why the direct mail sucks. So you give them some very simple information that we all take for granted, and if they get interest, if they start sounding like they're interested, you can say, well, hey, let's try it. Maybe we'll put something together, and then you can try to sell them. You can either go on a trial offer, say, I normally don't write for other people, but a couple $100, I'll dress this ad up, and if it works good for you, maybe we can have a continuing relationship or whatever. And so that's the method. So if you put those methods to use, contact your other copywriters that are supposed to be your competition. Contact the B-level and C-level writers and say, hey, I know you get overbooked from time to time. I know you get work you don't like. I'm just starting out. If you want to refer me my way, I really appreciate it. You can go with the irresistible approach where you do a Google search, you find a high-ranking ad in whatever niche, and you just come up to them and say, hey, I was on your sales page. I liked your sales page, but I think I could do a couple things to improve your response. Would you let me get a crack at it? Would you give me a crack at it? And maybe they will, maybe they won't. You go to the WSO forum, the Warrior forum, and you post a Warrior special offer saying, I'm just starting out in copywriting. I'm going to make it really cheap for you because I'm trying to build a reputation. So here's the next deal for the copywriting gigs. You can have 5 spots available or whatever. You just write your ad up. You do that, you go to the forums, and you post in the forums with a link back to your site, and at the same time you go down the copywriter board, copywritersboard.com, and you look for people offering copywriting gigs, and you try to take one, or you make an offer to write one. You do that, and then you can invite it with your stock letter of your ad sucks. You do it with the personal touch, where you walk into businesses a couple hours a week. You try the yellow page technique a few times. And like I said, it's not the best way to get copywriting clients, but if you're starting out, it's sure as heck the simplest way, and it's the most effective way. And really, the way you get clients in copywriting is you build a reputation, you get results, and then people will come to you in masses and droves, and then you can start charging whatever you want. But that's probably not you. You're probably just starting out like most copywriters. And this is some very simple methods I've shared with you today, but I can guarantee you if you put them all to use, even if you do a little bit in each one of them, without a doubt you should have a copywriting client by the end of the week that is willing to pay you money. So my name is Jason Fladlin. I want to thank you for watching this video series today, and the best to you in your internet business and your copywriting business. Thanks.